Hello Andy, I am Nandakishore Eramsetti from Gaman Health Center. Today we have Sri K. Venkatnarayan Garu, our dysphasiologist, head of the department speech and audiology. Let us know more about dysphasia from Venkatnarayan Garu. Namaskaram Andy.
Namaskaram Dr. Garu.
Venkatnarayan Garu, how to identify patients with dysphasia very early? By identifying early, we can take all the precautions and we can save some lives and also quality of life. Please throw some light on it.
Sure. Before identification, first we have to know what are the problems that facing by the patients. See, what are the reasons that they are getting dysphasia. See, we are coming to adult patients, according to world incidence and prevalence, we can see it, there is 70% of the cases because of the stroke, brain stroke, and there are 40 to 50% because of cerebral accidents. So there are some other reasons where we can find it, there are dysphasia problems also. Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, dementia,
multiple sclerosis, dementia. There is endless list. But primarily, I am sure you see it more in the patients with cerebrovascular
accidents and brain stroke.
Yes.
So, according to previously I have seen some incidents like out of 70% of the people, that is in USA last year we have seen 5 to 6 lakhs of patients with brain stroke has admitted in the hospitals. Among that, 1.5 patients, like 1.5 lakhs of patients has died due to only dysphasia problem.
Oh my God.
You can't believe this. 1.5 lakh patients has been done only due to the dysphasia problem. Right now, in these patients, what's happened to identify, first of all, they have the running short of breath to swallow. And the information, the pulse that has coming from the brain to the oromotor structures will get delayed. Some patients, some attenders will give food to these patients, but the initiation of the larynx will take long time. In the meanwhile, this food get into the airway tract where you get aspiration. So this has not to be done. First of all, when the patient has admitted in the hospital, within 24 hours, the dysphasiologist has to be assessed and give proper guidance so that the food can be given to them and it will help in the health conditions to improve. As you said, identification of dysphasia, how can we identify? There are some patients who can't put food in the mouth in a bulk and they can't eat it properly, that is chewing issues will be there. And when people are eating, they take heavy breathing. Then there are some other issues like they pull the chest very heavily breathing and running short of breath, and there is a spill of food from the nose and the mouth also. Coming to very small kids like infants and toddlers, infants will say their mouth opening capacity is very small and small, so they can't take directly food inside. When the swallowing, there is aspiration problem more in children because of the airway gap is very low. So if they are spilling out, we have to change the position of the kid.
A very important point.
Very important with the kids. And those person who is getting, while eating food, the person's face will get very sweaty because they are facing very problematic to take the food to inside. And there are some persons who get pinkish face, which shows that they are difficulty in taking the food inside. So these are some identifications we can find it out in dysphasia problem.
So spilling the food, face getting pinkish, increased breathing rate, heavy sweating. If you notice any of them while swallowing, you have to suspect there is a difficulty to swallow and you have to get the medical attention immediately.